Hey, it's Cody, and I am here today on this cloth that I probably should have ironed to talk about my January shit. Should I plan on working with in January? The decks, the books. I think that's all I've got for this month. So yeah, we'll just hop right in. I actually only have 3 decks this month that I really plan on working with. That's not to say that something else isn't going to come up. You know, I don't use these videos as, like, I don't hold myself to these videos. You know, if I happen to, I don't know, get a new deck and I want to work with that one, okay, I'll do that. Or, you know, I don't hold myself to these. So, but, I've been working with this, Sephiroth. I keep meaning to, like, Google how you say this, and I always forget. I've been working with this November, December, and I don't plan on stopping for January, so take a little look at this. This was an indie deck that I backed on Kickstarter, over a year ago, probably at least a year and a half ago. It just came in November, and I've just really been getting along well with it. I love the little, gold in every card has at least a touch of it. The side gilding is actually the worst thing about this deck. It's the kind that, like, has a lip on the edges. You might even be able to see it. I don't know if you can see that. But there's a lip on the edges that makes it so that it shuffles in chunks. I get around this by just shuffling the cards face up, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's not my favorite. I do feel like this deck kind of has January energy, you know, it's got a lot of these, like, cool grays sort of in the background, dark blues, even this, even though it's got, like, orange and, like, this peachish kind of color, I just really feel like it's just a good color palette, for winter still. Okay, so as soon as January rolls around, some part of me, not that I think that it's spring, by any means, but I start this thing, like, that I'm getting ready for spring. Like, literally the first day of winter was just fucking, like, not even 2 weeks ago, but I'm like, it's time to move on from this. So I tend to, you know, kind of start getting into, as you can see, I got this floral bullshit back here. I don't know why I do that. And then it's, like, extra depressing on me because I'm like, it's time to put this shitty stuff in the past. But then also the shitty weather is still here, so yeah. It's a weird time for me. Sorry, I should have been tipping these kind of in the light so you can see the gold on all of them, because it's pretty exquisite. Oh my god, you can already see they're getting damaged. It's not because the cardstock is bad, it's because I use this shit so much. So I'm excited to continue working with this for the month of January. I've seen some people complain about the cardstock and stuff. I don't feel like I'm that into cardstock. Like, if it's really bad, I'm gonna notice. But for the most part, I don't know. If I can't shuffle it, like the riffle shuffling, that kind of pisses me off. But I have really small hands. I have, like, weak fucking baby hands too, so the cards have to be pretty thin for me to be able to do that. So the only thing that pisses me off about this one is the gilding lip. Alright, the next deck that I have, this is the New Chapter Tarot. It's by Catherine Briggs, and this one's fucking Liminal 11 ones that, I fucking hate the packaging on this shit. Alright, so this was, in my, unused deck-wise video, and it's just because this is a Thoth-based deck. So I've had this, I feel like I've had it for a couple years, and I get it out and I look at it, but I've never, like, used it. I've never even tried to reading with it. And it partially, I think it's because the guidebook is very... We'll just get it out. It's literally like... Okay, those are majors. But when you get to the minors, it's like this. And I don't read Thoth. Okay, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a fucking asshole, but I'm really not interested in learning to read the Thoth deck. I don't feel like, for the most part, I read, Rider-Waite-Smith kind of style. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything that I feel like, okay, I'm not explaining this well. I'm doing a horrible job. Anything extra that the Thoth deck would tell me, I don't feel like is really anything that I'm not interested in having. People are like, oh, it's a deeper system. Okay, that's fine, but, like, for me personally, I don't really feel like my card reading practice is lacking. Just stuffing some astrology in there, or, it's not a thing that I'm that into. So this, the New Chapter Tarot, it even says in here that it's sort of... smashed RWS and Thoth systems together. So I do have the Tarot of the Vampires. It's by Ian Daniels, and again, that's another one that's loosely Thoth based, and it has a really good guidebook with it. But again, I'm not really sure what's like Thoth about it, what's just specific to that deck. And this guidebook is, quite frankly, not that helpful to me in, I don't really know how much of it's Thoth and how much of it's not, and that's kind of made me feel like I shouldn't use it or something. I don't know. This is a thing I feel like I've done to myself, and I'm over that. So I want to just freely use this deck, and I am gonna look, at the guidebook. But doing like a full-on Thoth study is just not a thing that I'm interested in at this point in time. I mean, there might be a day where I'll suddenly feel like it's a thing that I fucking must have, but at this point, I just don't really feel like anything different that it's going to tell me is going to be that worth it to me. I don't know. I think that more so than being interested in old, like, traditions of tarot reading, at this point in my practice and in my life, I am more interested in decks with new spins on them, right? And I find that very interesting. I like to see, it's not like a tradition or something like that. It's just somebody had this idea and that's how they want this deck read, kind of thinking like the Wildwood Tarot does that. The Tarot Restless does that. It deviates, and it's kind of its own system. And if I'm going to be learning a system at this point, like I've said a bunch of times, I'm more interested in that kind of thing than, like, dragging up Thoth shit. So that's kind of been my holdup with this deck. But I love the artwork so much that, like, this is very Thothy, right? I don't know. I feel like there's might be things that I'm missing in this deck, but, like, I don't know, man. That's just... See, I'm starting to, like, feel it right now looking at it. Like, the King of Wands, I don't feel like there's anything really stopping me from just reading this like a good old RWS, except that a lot of the artwork really has that geometric sort of... I don't know, like, how Thothy is this deck? I don't know. But I do plan on, really digging into this. I really tend to read more intuitively than buy guidebooks a lot anyway. So, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and dive into this and stop worrying so much about the Thoth influences, I guess, because I have been really letting that get in the way of this, and I'm tired of that. Tired of that for myself, so. New year, new me, I'm gonna fucking do this deck, right? That was a joke. I don't do that new year, new me shit. I'm the same old crusty bitch I was the fucking day before, right? Alright, the last deck, it just occurred to me that I don't think I picked any, Oracle decks, but that's okay. I'll probably get some, because that's just how I always am. Alright, so I recently just got the Sacred Web Tarot. And I've done, I did one, like, little mini, like, hello kind of reading. It wasn't even, like, a deck interview or anything. Got a big fat-ass guidebook, which I really appreciate. I've drawn a couple of, like, daily draws from it. And this deck just reads really well. I like it. I like the artwork. The court cards, instead of being like Page, Knight, Queen, and King, they're, shit. Okay, Seers are Kings. Scouts are Knights? Fuck. Oh, see, now I forgot. A few of the cards are white. Okay, this card is like the Self or something? Fuck. Where's the book? I mean, I don't want to get out the book a bunch here, but I do want to look and see what this card was calling itself. Oh, the Sacred Cosmic Self. Rejoice. So, I feel like it probably falls into the majors, but it's not numbered in any way at all. So, that's cool. I feel like maybe it's even like a significator. I don't know if I should pull it out. I don't know. I'm really into this artwork. Something about it almost, okay, it feels like blasphemy for me to fucking say this, but like, it kind of feels like if the Wild Unknown and the Tarot Restless like had a baby. Okay, students are pages. Scouts are knights. Queens are sources, I think. And, kings are seers. Yeah. But yeah, in this deck, it almost has like a playful feeling to it. I don't know, man. It's a weird energy that I haven't gotten from a deck before. And it reads really clear. One thing I will say I do wish that it did was I wish that it had titles on the majors. Like, this is 6. Obviously, it's got the little cups, right? Well, I say. To me, it was obvious this was cups. I don't know how to explain it, right? Here's 6 of air. I think that they're elemental suits in this one. I don't know. You know, I haven't spent enough time with this deck. But, like, yeah, those are water then, right? But a lot of the majors are renamed. Like, this is the Star. And I can tell that, but some of them, I wish that it said actually on the majors what they were. Like, this is traditionally the Hierophant, and I believe it's called the Teacher in this. And I really like some of them. I think the Devil is like the Bind or something, and then the Tower's the Burn. I don't know, it's super cool, and I wish that they had been put on the actual majors, on the cards themselves. So I think that's my only complaint about this deck. Okay, I'm super into the spider weaving a web of light as the magician. Just what a weird take in a good way. I don't think I've ever seen the spider as the magician before. I've seen it as, you know, the wheel. We've seen it as the high priestess. But I really think it's a fresh take on the magician to have him be the spider. Here we are at the Chariot. I don't know what exactly it's actually called in this deck. I literally just got this like the day before yesterday. But this is the Chariot, and they are unbound from their chariot. So I kind of like that. There's a lot of shit to think about with this deck. And I feel like this is one that it's going to need time, you know? It's not... Whereas I felt like I could just pull this out and read with it, you know, almost right away. I really feel like it would benefit me to dive a little deeper into this. Oh my god, what? What the fuck was that? Alright. Source. Okay, I'm just like looking at these cards now, so we'll put these guys away. Sorry, gonna have to... Oh my god, what did I do to this? Did I do this? Not the hippo card. Fuck. You know, I hate complaining about prices of decks, but there was one where I was talking about the Fyodor Pavlov tarot or whatever, that I don't have yet, but that it was $46 US from US Games, and I was like, god damn, that's a lot. And then I purchased this. This is a Harper one, and it was $40 US. So, is this just the new thing? Is this just fucking how it's gonna be? I don't know. I don't like it. Okay, so now we're to books, and you know it's kind of annoying, probably to people, that I like mix my fiction and like my witchcraft books kind of together. Sorry. So I mean, you can click away if you don't want to see this shit. Okay, so this is weird. I don't know why I always include this, but I almost feel like my fiction reading is part of my practice, and that doesn't make any sense. I don't know how to explain that in a way that makes any sense. So I'll have to gather my thoughts on that, and that's a whole other video. But there's a couple books that I'm gonna talk about that I have were like basically December books because I didn't really talk about those very much, and then what I plan on working with in January. And I say working with because I'm fucking annoying. Okay, so this book is called A Far Wilder Magic. It's by Alison Saft, and I literally bought this book because the cover looked really cool. A magical secret, a mythical hunt, and a love that could risk everything. Okay, I always am surprised by books and like the romance shit. I don't fucking know, I'm stupid as shit. But alright, I will tell you right now that I DNF'd this. That means do not finish, right? I did not finish this book. I might go back at some point, but I could see exactly where it was going, and I didn't care about the characters. I stood in front of my bookshelf and could not remember which book it was that I had read part of and not finished. Like, that is what this book was to me. It was just so right middle of the road, you know? Somebody once said, some author, might have been Maggie Stiefvater, who's one of my favorites, and she said something about that the most damning review, like star rating of out of 5 stars, is a 3, because that means it was like nothing. So if you read a horrible book, you fucking remember it, and if you read a really good book, you remember it, right? So if you're given 1 or 2 stars, I remember every 1 or 2 star rating that I've given a book on like Goodreads or some shit that I don't keep up on. But this book was so nothing special in any fucking way that I couldn't even remember which one it was. I'm sorry. And you know, I realized, I think this was alright, I think this is actually young adult, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't realize it because it was in like the coffee shop thing. Where does it say? I saw something somewhere that this was young adult, but like The Wolf and the Woodsman is an adult book that I read, and I'm not sure why there's like blurbs about it from that. I don't know, man. I didn't really like this book. I didn't care about it. So, DNF that. Okay, here's a book that I'm currently reading. I don't know. What? Would you call that a third, maybe? I I bought it because who is going to see a book with, like, Baba Yaga's hut on the front of it and not want to know what's in it, right? Turns out I'm not that into what's in it. I don't feel like I'm that picky of a reader, but maybe I am. Like, okay, it's interesting, but I'm not, like, that interested in it. I don't know how to explain that. It's like these people get, like, their great-great-grandma or something died and sent them something from Russia. And it was, like, an entire fucking shipping container with the house in it. And then there's, like, enemies trying to get it. Man, I don't even know. All right, it's not that I can't follow the story, okay? It's just, okay, this is gonna just feel mean for me to say, but, you know, that's why we're here. If I put this book down and did not read it again, I would never think of it. I would never be like, I wonder what happened. Like, I wouldn't remember the characters, I wouldn't remember their names, I wouldn't remember the story. I don't plan on not finishing this one because it's not as boring as the other one was to me, but, yeah, so, I mean, right now it's a 3-star. Sorry. Alright, so this is The Obsidian Tower by Melissa Caruso. This was on my, I don't know, I think I said I was gonna read it in October or November or something. I didn't. I don't know, something about it just felt like it was gonna be, like, dry and crusty. I don't know why. But I did end up reading it in December, and I finished this shit in, like, a couple of days, and it's, what? Almost 480 pages or something. Yeah. So, and I finished it in, like, 2 days, which is abnormal for me because I just got a lot of shit going on and I don't normally get that much time, but I stayed up late to fucking read this book. So it did kind of take me by surprise. And I really liked it. I mean, it's not really, like, tarot related or anything like that. But I really liked that, so I did, my grubby little mitts on the second one. I think there's 3. This is the Quicksilver Court. It comes next. So I'm excited. I haven't started this one yet because I'm trying to finish that Thistlefoot. If I finish that, then my reward to myself is I get to read this one. So I will be reading that one. And then, okay, this is oh my god, it's massive. This was gifted to me by a very good friend. This is The History of Tarot Art. This is by Holly and Esther from the Wildly Tarot podcast, if you know who they are, and if you don't, acquaint yourself. This is just such a cool book. And I have looked through this a lot. I've looked through it a lot, but I will admit that I have never... I've read, like, here and there, you know, but I haven't actually read it. And I think it's super cool. It's just, there's just so much, oh my god, the glare. Tip it up a little. Good information in here. Somewhere in here is like a little fold out thingy. In the back. It's like a whole timeline. Yeah, this is gonna have to move. What's path meanings. Okay, see, now I'm about to cheat, and here, this is how I'm gonna do it. This is a whole fold out, like, timeline of tarot influences and shit. This book is so cool. I love so much shit about it. It talks about, like, okay, obviously, right? We know the Wild Unknown Tarot was just very important in just the evolution of tarot and its reading, right? Oh, we can't discount Deviant Moon, right? Druidcraft. Here, there's a whole thing about the Mother Peace Tarot. Here it is on, what is this? Dior. 2020 Dior Use Images. Nope, that was a different one. I don't know. At some point, this is some, this is the death card from the Mother Piece Tarot on a runway somewhere. So, this is just such a super cool book. If this kind of shit interests you, I really do recommend this. Even though, I mean, I've read bits and pieces, but I want to actually sit down and fully read this entire thing. Also interesting, there's like these little pockets that have, I believe these are the Sola Busca or something like that. So they're in here. It's the full majors, I think, in here. So that's just cool. I might at some point use them. I don't know, man. I just mostly keep them in here. I just hoard them like the little hoarding dragon that I am with my shit. But so those are my plans for January. I mean, like I said before, I know that I only picked three tarot decks. I'm sure I'm gonna work with more than that. And I'm, you know, 80% sure that I'm gonna end up, Jesus Christ, grabbing an Oracle deck to go with them. So, alright, thanks for watching, bye.